I'm Gab La Petite. I'm a Montreal-based artist. I've been sitting on maybe like 20 pieces of watercolor that hold themselves together as a long-term series that started perhaps as a shorter series that just developed into this bigger thing that I'm playing with right now. That has to do with objects and spaces, first and foremost as characters and not as backdrops for what's happening in the pieces. It's rather a stage and not a backdrop, and the intention of that stage is really to bring space and object in almost a romantic setting, just to allow wonderful interactions to happen in that space. And then I add to that characters, real characters, people characters, personas that I enjoy in my life, that I hold dear and that I find interesting to the same level as the objects that surround them, in the sense that they have something interesting that I want to use and push further than just the reality of what it is tangibly. I believe it deserves a place in the realm of the realm of the arts, in the sense as in the realm of the not yet physically here. The Kodak pictures as references almost came about as an accident. I started documenting for pleasure, for the simple fact of archiving, because I just want to archive everything. And then through that documenting process, I found myself with such gold, such amazing stills of spaces and people and places and moments that I just had to use them. And through a collage-like practice, I've intertwined them in the pieces, but it's not work based off pictures. The pictures are there at the same level as the other intangible or even imaginary aspects of the painting. They're almost just like borrowed for the purpose. To be frank, watercolor is not a very elevated medium. It is usually regarded as rather a sketch medium. So I dabbled in other mediums instead, like acrylic. I did some print, screen printing and things of the sort, and it didn't feel like a love story. It wasn't a click. It didn't feel like my medium. It felt like a medium to use, but it didn't feel like my medium. And that was a very slow journey into what the work that I'm doing now is, where I find myself being almost solely watercolor based at this point. I have fallen in love completely with the medium, with its lack of materiality almost, with its very ghost-like quality, because it's just transparencies on top of transparencies. And I think there's a delicate nature to it that can not be found in other mediums. Even very diluted acrylic doesn't exactly give you that softness, that weightlessness and that dream-like aesthetic. It almost seems like things are floating, they're not exactly grounded, and it gives you a sense of almost comfort in that things are not edgy or sharp or anything of the sort. They seem like almost like a dancing memory. You know, that aesthetic of a memory where you cannot feel all the details, but you can get a sense of an image. That's where watercolor brings you, I find, and I think that's what's captivating and almost romantic about it.